Hello, my friend. How's everybody doing? I'm once again at Starbucks as always. In the morning, I always go to Starbucks every single day. Hope everyone is well. Today, we're going to talk about XRP and general price predictions, and we're going to talk about the market sentiment once again, what's going on. Before we start, as always, check out the links to my course and private group and all the updates and millionaire spreadsheet and my strategy, what I'm doing right now, in the description down below. It's also going to be in the comments. And also, you can follow me on Twitter. The link is going to be there. Uh, anyway, let's get right to it, right? So just yesterday, basically, I was talking about Ripple XRP and these price predictions that we keep getting. It all started with $589 back in 2018. And then, I joked and said that, the more the market matures, the crazier the price predictions are going to become. And we really have gotten to the point where people went from 589 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 30,000 to 50,000. And I just had recently somebody on Twitter write to me saying that they were 100% sure that XRP is going to $1 million per XRP. Excuse me. Can you guys hear me? I'm sorry if the audio is bad. It's maybe because of the Starbucks. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about it, right? So what's happening right now basically is a lot of influencers out there, right? A lot of influencers say what people want to hear simply to gain these followings, right? A lot of people don't have big XRP bags, and a lot of people don't have big bags altogether because, unfortunately, you have to have a lot of money to have big bags, right? So a lot of people can have something like 5,000 XRP or 10,000 XRP, but not many people out there can have 100,000 XRP or 500,000 XRP or a million XRP or several million XRP for that matter. And that being the case, they know that. These people know that, and so they attract the attention of people who have like 5,000 or 10,000 XRP and start giving them these crazy price predictions. So the people believe that they can become millionaires with only 5,000 XRP. Let's just get this out of the way, right? Back in 2018, when we had that teddy bear, the variable guy 1, 2, 3, and the those in the predictions, I kept saying that we're not going to go to $589, right? It's not going to happen, and that instead we're going to 15 cents. I got a lot of hate for that. But what actually happened was that we did not go to $589, and we did indeed go to 15 cents. So there's a fact right there. There's another fact that current XRP is trading at roughly 35 cents. And another fact is that, that altogether, when people give these crazy XRP price predictions, they're saying that XRP is going to go to 1 million. Bitcoin even hasn't gone to 1 million yet. And we're talking about 21 million units versus 100 billion units, right? If I'm not mistaken, there's 4,760 times more XRP units than there are Bitcoin units, right? That means basically the coin is very diluted. That means the more the units there are, the harder it is price to be high per unit. The ROI percentage gain can be much bigger. And, in the last bull market, XRP and Bitcoin roughly had the same ROI, roughly 2,000%. For an altcoin, that's pretty bad, but a lot of other altcoins are performed in like 10,000, 20,000%, and Doge did even 50,000%. The point I'm trying to make is you don't need these crazy price predictions. You don't need the price to go really high in order to make more money than you would have Bitcoin or other altcoins, right? XRP can go to $5 or $10, and the ROI is going to be crazy. There are a lot of these people who believe in fundamentals, a lot of people who actually buy into these riddles. And the reason is, once again, because they don't have a lot of XRP. And the reason is because XRP sometimes is the only coin they hold. So they become maximalists and they start lying to themselves. Like, I'm telling you, once again, in 2018, the stuff I went through, the whole 589 narrative was insane. I literally had people sending me death threats, several people sending me death threats, saying that if they would see you, they would literally beat me to death and whatnot. Because I told them that 589 is not happening and we're going to 15 cents, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is not to upset anybody. The reason why I'm doing this is because I actually want people to money and have realistic expectations, right? XRP can pump hard if we get to, regulatory clarity, if we get the whole lawsuit out of the way and it changes the list. Yes, it can pump very well. It has definitely the community behind it. I've been a part of that community for a very long time. It definitely has the utility behind it, the narrative of the utility. has a huge component Ripple behind it, and it's a great coin, that has great transaction speed and it's very cheap to transact worldwide. And banks are actually using it already, right? And especially if they win the lawsuit, then the prospects only grow. But that does not matter. It does not mean that people all over the world are going to start using it, and that there's going to be some kind of switch that's going to be flipped. And once that switch is flipped in a blink of an eye, we're going to $10,000. This is what people are literally saying, right? I don't know who believes this stuff, but all I can tell you that if you believe that stuff, it's time to wake up, my friends. It's time to wake up. That stuff is not happening. XRP is never going to hit $1,000. Never. Let's forget even about $5, $10, $50,000. It's just impossible. That's never going to happen unless there's some kind of crazy industry event, where local bread costs, I don't know, basically $1,000 or something like that. Unless something like that happens, that kind of stuff is not happening. And once again, I'm not telling you that to upset you. I'm telling you you have to manage risk and manage your expectations, right? Just keep in mind, that there are coins that have much smaller maximum supply than XRP that haven't pumped anywhere close to even $1,000, right? And Bitcoin alone was 21 million units, and it only pumped to $69,000. And the whole 21 million hasn't been mined. There's actually less Bitcoin in circulation, and there'll never be 21 million because some Bitcoin has been destroyed or lost or whatever is being stored. And there's currently roughly 50 billion circulating supply for XRP. Right? You have to understand this and be aware of this. I know that there are a lot of people saying that market cap is unimportant and all of that. People will tell you whatever you want to hear, basically, as long as you press that like button and subscribe, and their channels keep growing and their accounts keep growing and they keep monetizing. Right? At the end of the day, they show you all this piece and they get subscribers and their channels are monetized. They make money. And I do believe that if XRP does succeed and Ripple do succeed, and all this stuff comes together, it is absolutely a coin that with time, if everything goes perfectly well, if everything goes perfectly well again, huge if, then it can be worth something like $50 in the future within several market cycles, or if the crypto generally really changes and we'll start actually seeing some kind of utility actors that are actually used well. But friends, please try to understand the insanity of Ledger Store. Let's just imagine a piece of pie, right? A piece of pie. Let's say that let's a whole pie. So there's a whole pie, and that pie can be divided basically, just theoretically, into it costs $69,000. It can be divided into 21 million pieces. Right? Obviously, every single piece is cost more from that pie instead of their 100 billion pieces. You see what I mean? There's only a finite amount of money in this world. And no matter what these regulators tell you, you have to be realistic. So many people got burned with this narrative. Back in the day, yes, I didn't nail the last full market XRP, but I nailed the one before it. I got out at $3 and the top was $3.84. And nobody wanted to listen. I was saying that percentage ROI has been crazy. The market looks stocky. It's time to get out. 5.9 is not happening. Not going to just sell, take profit, and get out. Nobody wants to hear the reality, right? Everybody wants to hear these fairy tales, and that's why these people have these huge followings, because they'll tell you what you need to hear, what you want to hear, not what you need to hear, and that's why so many people get burned. So many people get burned, and it's not just the XRP community. It's the same with the Bitcoin maxes, right? When I was saying that the top is between 60 to 85K, and when I said it's definitely probably going to be in 78, and I got out. The tweets are there on Twitter. I just retweeted it yesterday. You can check it out. Once again, nobody wanted to listen, right? We had these price predictions of $100,000 is guaranteed. Then we're talking about 250K, 300K, and some people were talking about $1 million in the last cycle. Bitcoin with time can pump very hard and go about 100K and whatnot. But you just have to be realistic and manage your expectations in regards to cycles and when you should take profits. Because if you have crazy price predictions, crazy expectations, obviously you're not going to take profits on, obviously you're going to get burnt. So I am here already for the third cycle, right? And a lot of people that I actually talked to in the DMs, and a lot of people I've known since 2016, a lot of them haven't really ever taken profits. So they're pretty much in the same place where they were. And that same place, for example, with regards to XRP, they're still waiting for 589 or a million or I don't know, $50 XRP, whatever, you get the point, right? They're still waiting. So nothing has changed in their lives. For me, a great deal has changed in my life because I took profits in the first cycle, I took profits in the second cycle. I've multiplied that, and my life has changed for the better, like drastically. And now it's the third cycle, so I no longer have to wait. I never had to wait for 589. It's just enough to, for example, buy a coin, wait for it to pump 20, 30x, then get out. The next cycle, wait for it to pump again 20, 30x, sell, and that's it. You got these crazy profits in 2 cycles. Now in the third cycle, I'm going to be basically retired for life, just because I manage my expectations, just because I don't have these crazy price predictions, just because I have a feasible plan that keeps working. And one more cycle, and that's it. I'm done. But people will be unfortunately waiting for 589 or $1 million Bitcoin. I'm going to be retired for life this cycle. And that's it. I'm never going to have to do anything in my life. I'll just enjoy my life the rest for as long as I exist. Manage your expectations, my friends. Do not buy into this BS scenario. Ask yourself, why are people telling you this? Well, one of the theories is that some people are just don't understand what they're talking about or are pretty much crazy. The other one is, like I said, followers. They monetize followers. And they're going to tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And I'm 100% sure that a lot of people are going to watch this video once and then get very upset with me and very angry because I'm not telling them what they want to hear. I'm telling them what they need to hear. And that's okay. That's all right. I don't need basically followers. I don't need to monetize my followers. I'd rather make money with the money I've been making for these markets, and I'd rather have my members and my Patreon make money and change their life. I would rather have my 6,000 students that I have right now than have 600,000 members on YouTube. Which is shilling BS to it. I know that these people are going to get wrecked and shamelessly lied. I would rather have that 6,000 students that I'm honest with, that I give them, I teach them properly. I give them what they need to hear. I would rather have a small following of people who are going to make it instead of, monetizing a lot of people and ruining people's lives, basically. Let's see what you're saying, my friends. Nathan, appreciate the lesson, Rob. Thank you very much. I actually enjoyed them too. XRP hit me. Yes, I'm at Starbucks doing a live. I go to Starbucks every single day for my lives. It's like an addiction of mine. Hello, William. Hello, Simon Bickerton. Oh, hello, Simon. How have you been? It's been a while. Lorenzo, hello. So yeah, guys. I purposely made also clickbait title, $1 million with price protection, right? So that people open this and hear what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. I don't really care if people are not going to like it, but this is what they need to hear, right? XRP is not going to $1 million. It's not going to $50,000. It's not going to $10,000. It's not going to $1,000. Let's just please get this crazy BS out of the way. Please start following normal people, know what we're talking about. This is money, like for example, one of them is Tori Corkin, my friend on Twitter. Follow Tori, great guy, makes money consistently, realistic stuff, played XRP much better than I did in the last cycle. And it's somebody that you can actually learn from, right? Somebody that will actually make money with. Every single person that dislikes this video, right? If you don't like it, ask yourself, my friend, how's your financial situation? Have you made 100x? In 2 cycles from crypto? Because people like me have. Have you made it? You haven't, because if you've been 589, you've just been watching extra people go up and down and do nothing, and you've just been accumulating. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed in your life. We're here to make money, right? And those people who basically don't monetize their channels and all that. Not that I have anything about monetizing channels. There are a lot of normal people out there, and my friends who monetize channels talk about normal stuff, and they're great people and great YouTubers. That's not my point. I'm talking about a select few people who speak and talk, who know that they're spewing BS, to the masses. They know it, but they do it because it gets the followers and we make money on followers. Mark in 23, love the drop. Got wrecked last cycle, won't happen again in the next one, but I've been following me more than 6 months now. I wish I was here before, bro. Cheers, brother. I appreciate that. Great to hear a voice that's trying to help people in this space. Timo was saying, sir, I'm sorry that the audio is bad. I asked earlier on, and people replied that the audio is fine. I'm sorry if the audio is bad. Maybe I should start doing lives then, if you guys are on like a phone or traveling in a hotel or something. I just like doing them in Starbucks because I go to Starbucks every day, and so remember, guys, another thing, so we spoke about price protections, right? Manage your expectations, and always be willing to adapt to the market conditions. Like I have price expectations also for this cycle, but I am always ready to manage my expectations. Like for example, when I sold 80% of my Bitcoin at 57,000, I was holding 20 just in case other people were right and it does go to 85,000 or higher. When I saw that it didn't happen at $43,000, that was my stop loss, and I got out. I got out because to me it looked like that's it. The cycle is over. There were, indicators showing that the market is over, and whether or not we like it, it is what it is. You can't just basically not pocket 20, 30x, or in the case of BNB for me, it was like 100x, or in the case of BT, 80x, just because you want more from the market. You have to be realistic. If you see that the market is down, you take your money and you leave. You go for the next cycle. And you don't get burnt, and you actually change something you want. Because, for example, let's say if you take $10,000 in the first cycle, you make $100,000 or $200,000. And you wanted to make $1 million, what you did. So you got out, you have your $200,000. Wait for the next cycle, right? Now it no longer has to. Like for example, if you took the 10 G's and you turn it into $200,000, basically 20x. Now, if you want $1 million, you just take the 200,000, and all you need now is 5x. You don't even need that 20 or 10x. You just need the 5x to make that $1 million you want, right? That's what I've been preaching for all these years. That's what I've been talking about all these years. The reason why I've had such amazing XRP entries is, based on my strategy of investing. What I keep talking about was nothing that I'm a super genius. Actually, what I do is very simple. How did I know that XRP is going to go to 30 cents or below? Because when you look at altcoin history, altcoins crashed at roughly 90% or more, 99.99%. So all I did was look at XRP, 3.84 cents, and it was supposed to go to 38 cents. And if it was going to go down 95%, obviously it would go lower. And what was so special about XRP? There was nothing special about it. It's just one of the many altcoins out there. I'm not talking about just XRP. I'm talking about altcoins in general. All altcoins crash very hard. Altcoin crashes hard, altcoins crash harder. It's just a fact that you can't deny. Go look at historical charts. It just keeps happening again and again and again, right? So right now, we're finally in the accumulation phase where I've been waiting for a long time. I finally started dollar cost averaging with equal amounts of money and diversifying with the different coins and different narratives. And I believe that we're going to crash lower. I believe that we're going to see, a proper capitulation event with crypto. And I'm going to be there buying the dollar cost averaging with equal amounts of money and not getting scared and holding until, the market reverses into a bull market and start popping hard. That's pretty much it, my friends. Hey there, Benzo. Hey, Rob. Any thoughts on QNT? QNT is a good coin. That's what I'm going to say. QNT is something you can definitely diversify. XRP Leatherneck. Rob, when do you think the next bull run will be? Well, like I keep saying, we have to yet see if markets are lengthening. If markets are lengthening, it's going to take a while. If markets are not lengthening, and we're going to get roughly a 4-year cycle once again, then the bottom should be in soonish, but for me soonish is months. After that, for roughly 2 years, we can have unsustainable pumps and whatnot, and then after that, we can have roughly a year, less than a year, 200 to 300 days of hardcore pumps. That's what I like to think of as a bull market, last phase of the cycle, basically. But what if market cycles are indeed like that? That means that basically it's going to take longer for the bottom to hit. It's going to take longer for the bull market to come around, and it's going to take longer for coins to deliver. We don't have simply enough data to 100% ascertain that we're playing 4-year cycles. For example, this cycle, I saw that the market was looking toppy. I stuck with the 4-year theory, and I got out. It helped me after looking at percentages, because the main tool I use is percentages. After looking at percentages, I understood that basically time frames, although they're not a great tool all the time, but when they help you to verify your sentiment, they're great. So I looked at percentages and I asked myself, what is the time frame saying? The time frame is also saying it's time to get out. So I started getting out, except with XRP and XLM, which were two out of my 9 coins that didn't perform to deliver what I wanted them to. Although we did get some great swing trades with XLM. But with this other set of coins, all of them delivered and did what they needed to do. And that's the great thing, once again, about diversification. Imagine how only had been sitting in XRP and XLM, right? I would have gotten burned. Although probably if I had been owning XRP and XLM, I would have definitely taken profits along the way. But that's besides the point. The point is, if you diversify, you give yourself options, and you basically increase your chances of catching those 5,000, 10,000% pumps, because you never know which coin is going to pump. On 500%, which one is going to pump on 1,000 or 2,000%, which one is going to pump 10,000% or more. You just don't know. That's why you diversify. Simon Beckerton, what have you been buying, Rob? Well, like I said, there's my Patreon in the description down below. If you guys want to join, roughly for $5, you can find out everything that I've been buying, at what prices, and when I plan to get out, and all the market updates are there. But just to put it together, Bitcoin and basically several other altcoins with different narratives. XRP Leatherneck. I'm not going to sell any percentages of my bags. That's just not the way I play. We might get some swing trades in here and there, just like we have several times already with Link and ADA. But I play the whole cycle, right? So like I said, my method of investing, it takes a long time. It's very boring. You wait for roughly a year for everything to crash, or how long it takes basically for Bitcoin to be roughly down 80 to 90% and more. You start dollar cost averaging there for altcoin to be down roughly 85% to 99%. You start dollar cost averaging there upon multiple amounts of money. You hold. And after that, once you help all the yes, you sell when everything pumps really hard. For example, the reason why I don't sell, recently we bought the Doge entry, but it was like 5 cents, pumped roughly 1%. Yes, it was great money that I could have bought, a decent car or something, but that's not why I'm buying Doge, right? Because I remember what Doge has done twice in the past, and I'm not buying Doge for 200% profits. The first time in the first cycle, it pumped 1,000%, I believe, and the second one, 54,000%. If it pumps even 5,000%, which is just a fraction of what it's done in the past, that's profits. That's something, that's significant, and that's the kind of pump I'm looking for. I'm not saying it's 5,000%. Everything is mentioned in my spreadsheet, but I'm just telling you that I'm looking for huge gains. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not a trader. I swing trade sometimes, but I'm definitely not a trader. I'm an investor, because I've learned personally in my own experience that when you play the cycle, you make way more money. And 9 out of 10 day traders lose money. Only 1 out of 10 day traders is consistently profitable. And the bigger the time frame becomes, the more easier it becomes to make money. Same with swing trades. It's much easier to make money on bigger time frames, and it's much easier to make money as an investor than a trader. And traders will never make the kind of percentages investors make. I mean, who do you think made more money, right? The guys who held 88 for the 14,000% pump in the last bull market, or the guys who were trading ADA for 20, 30, and 50% profits, or maybe 100% profits here and there, and then also losing on trades, because once again, statistically, nobody gets trades in a row right all the time. Everybody's wrong. So who do you think made more money? Of course, the investors. Investors always make more money. When have you seen the last time a trader on the cover of Forbes? But how many investors have we seen on the cover of Forbes and other financial magazines? Investors are the guys who become rich, not traders. So basically, guys, yeah, I wanted to come on here too because I like talking to you guys and just manage your expectations. Don't listen to people who just tell you what you want to hear, right? Make sure you don't put yourself in a position where you basically don't sell when everything pumps like crazy, because there are people since 2016 have been doing this to themselves, nothing changed in their lives. They played themselves basically, with all due respect to this people. They never sold, they've been waiting for some crazy targets and nothing changes. Like I said, you can take 10,000, turn it into roughly 200,000, get out, and then if you get another 10x, you got 2 million, right? Your life has changed a lot. You just went in 8 to 10 years, you went from $10,000 to $2 million. What happens to the other guys who keep holding? They just keep holding. Nothing changes. They keep waiting for some crazy moon, and nothing changes. And it's quite, it's just insane when you think about it. Guys, manage your expectations. Uh, Remember, the dollar cost average of equal amounts of money upon new lows. The macro accumulation phase has begun. Be prepared for both pumps and dumps at this point. Have bags that are packed at this point at these prices, but also make sure you have a very good amount of money on the side to buy potential for the crashes. Like for example, a roughly $3,000 Bitcoin scares a lot of people. It does not scare me for 1 second. I hope it happens so I get to diversify and dollar cost average prices, bring down my average, and then therefore bring up my ROI significantly in the bullish phase of the cycle. Be prepared for all scenarios, right? Do not just be this guy who buys everything at once and then you miss out on potential lows, but also don't be the guy in case we don't go that low, doesn't maximize his profits by not buying now. Like once again, if you don't know what to do, don't know what you're doing, you have to know in your spreadsheet, literally $5, guys. The whole point was anybody can afford it, anybody, right? You got all the coins there, all the entries, all the X's, and you got constant updates. Whenever I feel that the market is mature. Anyway, guys, yeah. So thank you very much for tuning in. We've been here for nearly a half an hour. Really appreciate the fact that you